Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Alone with Firearms. I am your host, Juan J. Johnson, coming to you live on this August 30th, 2023. I know that I am late and I will try to make it up to you. Again, welcome to Alone with Firearms Training. I am your host. And I'm looking forward to this conversation on this evening. I think we're going to have a great conversation. Looking forward to it. Let me just make sure I got volumes down, different locations. We're going to be talking about a made up mind, the power of a made up mind, family. The power of a made up mind. I'm very particular, very intentional in these social media posts I'm doing. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're on Twitter, I want you to befriend me. I want you to share the video. If you're on Facebook, I want you to friend and share the video. If you're on YouTube, I want you to subscribe to the station. I want you to like or unlike it. Okay. And at the bottom of the screen, you're saying if you want to be able to contribute to the broadcast, you have the PayPal and you have the Cash App. Again, welcome again to Along with Firearms Training uh, broadcasts where we talk about God, guns, and whatever the topic is. We talked about, let me not go there too fast. I'm going to take my time with this. Um, Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Okay. Okay. Um, if you are interested in firearms training, I'm gonna need you to go to Lone Wolf Firearms, lwftraining.com. You see it on the screen right there, just above my shirt. If you want wear and carry lessons, if you want concealed carry lessons, they are 16-hour courses. That first day is normally a virtual day where you can listen or you can take the training right there in the comfort of your own house, in your living room, in your bedroom, at your den, your study, but you could practically be home on that first day. And that second day is a one-on-one, face-to-face, and we could do 16 hours. You go over the parts of the gun. You will be able to identify the parts of the gun, whether it's a revolver or a semi-automatic handgun. You will know how to make the gun safe. Okay, you go over the laws of that state. Okay, you go over how to reassemble and assemble the weapon. We go over cover and concealment. You will also go over how to holster and unholster the weapon. Um, it's a lot, family, for those 2 days that could lead to a third day. But at the end of the day, you will be a well-rounded, uh, responsible gun owner, gun user, and you will be a proud of being able to walk the streets, knowing that you either conceal carry or you wear and carry, and you'll know how to and when out to stop the threats. Again, many folks don't know when they don't know when to stop the threat. You will know when to stop that threat. I promise you that. If you need renewals for your HQL, or if you need renewals for your wear and carry, again, you can go to lonewolffirearm@gmail.com, or you can write, or you can go to lwftraining.com and you can leave a message. We will contact you, get the date and time for your renewals, whether for HQL or whether for a wear and carry. Again, I think HQLs are good for 10 years and the wear and carry is good for 3 years. Uh, and so you need to have those renewed within 60 days, within 90 days of your date of birth. So again, wear and carries, renewals, HQL renewals. Also, if you just want the intro to basic firearms, where you just want to know the parts of the gun, how to clean it, how to reassemble it, how to disassemble it, how to make it safe, you know, uh, sign up for the intro to firearms. There's an intro to firearms you sign up for, and you will learn the basics, the intro to firearms. Also, if you have in your possession firearms you no longer want, you inherited some guns, you could have found the gun in the house, and you no longer want that gun, we will come out to your location with the paperwork and properly transfer the guns from your place, your residence, to the company for educational purposes. I will say this: I do not suggest that you call the police and have them come pick them up. There are plenty of firearm companies out here who will come to your house and take those guns off your hand. Or you can go to a firearms dealer and they will take that gun off your hand. I do not suggest taking it to the police, or nor do I suggest taking it to one of these churches and their buybacks, and you get a $25 certificate. I don't suggest that. In fact, I am not on board with no churches, nowhere, at any time, doing a gun buyback at all, ever, never. And if you're a pastor, you're an elder, you're a deacon, you're a reverend, you're a minister, and you want to have that conversation, I would welcome the conversation. As a matter of fact, I just may put the link in the chat and we can have that conversation. I'll bring you up and we can talk about why I disagree with the gun buybacks that churches do. I got this one particular minister, local minister, I think he does it every year. And I've let him know I disagree with him. That he's wrong. He's out of order. And he's a very popular minister. Glenarden Baptist Church, anyway. Glenarden Baptist Church. You know, he's public with that. And I'm public with this. I do not agree with Pastor Jenkins and his gun buybacks, and tell him I said so. Matter of fact, send his son onto the broadcast or any of his ministerial staffs, and we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation, Pastor Jenkins. If you hear this video anywhere, we can have the conversation. I bring you up, and we can have the debate on why I'm against you and all these preachers with these gun buybacks. I'm against it. I'm against it. Disarming the community because you don't have vision to save the community. I said it. And before I take it back, I'd add more to it. And I could be offending some folks because they go to his church. It's a big church, very popular church. But no, I'm not with that. He gets to smoke from me. I'm not with that. So, and I'm pretty sure when I run for office, this video will come up. May not get no invite to his church. I'm good with that too. I'm good with that. Not when you are disarming the community. I'm not with that. No. You should be bringing responsible gun own. Churches need to bring firearm instructors to their churches so they can introduce being responsible gun owners and gun users to their congregation. Period. I'm on board with that. We need to re-envision and reimagine church in the 21st century. Okay, we have to reimagine it. Okay, our communities are under attack. These criminals, whether it be Asian criminals, whether it be Latino criminals, whether it be Arab criminals, whether it be Ethiopian criminals, Jamaican criminals, white criminals, black criminals. Actually, a criminal had no color. truth be told. But our neighborhoods are under attack by people who have no respect for the law, okay, or for the seniors, or for the elders. And when you have a lawless group of people out here who take the law into their hands, then it's up to the citizens, that well-regulated militia, to protect the free state, okay, against domestic terrorists, against criminals who, again, who do not respect some of our rights to live. So no, I'm against all gun buybacks, all of them. Look, I've been doing this for a long time, family. This gun piece, and again, any minister who wants to come on this feed and debate me about the gun buybacks, I welcome you in a very respectable manner. We can have a conversation, but I will not stand by and let the preachers continue to disarm our communities because they have no vision for dealing with the crime that's in their church's neighborhood. Okay, no vision. And that's why you see, as the scripture says, the people are perishing because there's no vision. They're operating out of fear, not out of concern. And then you take all the guns, because I'm seeing everybody else come and get trained, and other communities are just liberally giving up their very right to bear arms, that thing that can help them protect themselves, their families, their city, their county, and the state if need be. So again, I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with that. That's not my topic for tonight, but I'm gonna deal with this topic: the power of a made-up mind. The power of a made-up mind. A lot of us right now are torn between doing right or doing wrong or doing anything. Okay, and I'm gonna lead with this little scripture right here. Okay, I'm not gonna be before you long because I started late. But it says this, 2 Timothy 1:7, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. I'm gonna replace that with a made-up mind, sound mind. I'm gonna say with a made-up mind. Why is a made-up mind powerful? Because when you decide to make up your mind, okay, that's when things begin to fall in place. That's when connections start to be established. That's when resources start coming from the north, the south, the east, and the west. But as long as you're undecided and you can't make up your mind, you will never move, you won't never progress, and you'll never get up and do what needs to be done. Again, God, guns, and the power of a made-up mind is not a suggestion. Again, I just left the scripture up there. For God, again, I'm unapologetic about mentioning God on these broadcasts because I believe with everything in me that we've taken God out of the equation. So I may offend you if you're not a Christian, or I may offend you if you don't subscribe to a God. But I am unapologetic. I follow the revolutionary Jesus the Christ, not this one that's been preached out here that is disarmed, who've made men docile, who've castrated, emasculated, and neutered the majority of people who subscribe to believing in the Christianity that's being preached today. I'm not on board with that one. I'm not. I may flow into, and look here. Look. Let me let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it 100 right now. You know, if the founding fathers believed that they was one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, I subscribe to that one. If the founding fathers had enough common sense to put on the dollar, in God we trust, I'm on board with that too. Okay. And if we are honest with ourselves and we really believe that God has been taken out the equation, and that's why we have the levels of inappropriate behavior that we've been seeing in every institution, in every what appears to be lifestyle or norm, then we must re-inject God into the equation. So God will go with guns and guns will go with God into further notice. And when I say guns, I'm not just talking about the semi-automatic. I'm not just talking about the revolver. I'm not just talking about the shotgun. I'm not just talking about the rifle. I'm talking about the weapons of war. I'm talking about the F-16 jets. I'm talking about the battleships. I'm talking about the cruise missiles. I'm talking about anything and everything. I'm talking about even the nuclear weapons. Any any weapon used to secure the free state, any weapon used to maintain our First Amendment, which is the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom of petition, okay, okay, and the freedom of assembly. That's what I'm talking about. Again, we don't have these five First Amendment rights without that Second Amendment. Again, I'm just expanding the whole Second Amendment and looking at the evolution from guns to weapons of war. Okay? But back to my topic. For God, for the Elohim, okay, for Jehovah, whatever you subscribe to. Because this nation, the beauty about this nation is you can go practice your religion under whatever banner you choose to, whether you're an atheist, whether you're a Baptist, a Catholic, a Methodist, you can just go and practice without fear of being snatched out your house, snatched out your temples, snatched out your churches. You have that freedom to practice. Okay. But God had not given us the spirit of fear. Let me look up fear and what does it say? Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. And one more, to being afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or threatening. Family, we have not been given the spirit of fear. We are not supposed to be out here in these streets in America walking around in fear. Okay? And if you're walking around in fear, then you're not walking in the power of God. For the scripture teaches us there is no fear in God or in love, for God is love. So if you're walking around in fear, then you're not walking in the power of God. For we are taught at an early age, God is love. So if you're walking in fear of what? Fear of getting sick, fear of losing something, of your job, your health, friends, family. If you're walking in any type of fear, then you're walking in the opposite of what God called you to do. Let's keep it a buck. We're not supposed to be walking in fear ever, ever. Now, we can be startled and we can even be shaken a little bit, but you're not supposed to be out here walking in fear, because at the end of the day, you and I are supposed to be walking in the power of the risen God. And I'm unapologetic about this, family. Again, if we're going to change and get things back to what they used to be, as far as with this whole God piece, then we need to God needs to be a part of the discussion. Again, I'm not trying to look, I am not here to preach to you or to proselyte. I'm not even here to try to get you saved. That is not my job. Matter of fact, the scripture says, save yourself from this backwards generation. And you, if you're looking at America or Western culture that we see today, they all become being backwards because they've taken God and guns out the equation. It's a campaign, a fierce campaign, not to deal with guns, to not empower the citizens with guns. And there's even a greater campaign to not talk about God. So that's why I'm doing gods and guns in whatever we talk about. That's why. Unapologetic. Okay? And if anybody got a problem with that, that's yours, not mine. We should be able to have this conversation in public, in private, in schools, on the jobs. Okay? We should. And if we don't, then we need to create the environment to have these conversations. Again, fear is to be afraid, and you are not supposed to be afraid of anything or anybody. Okay? Maybe because I did 25, 27, or 30 years in law enforcement, that I don't have the same fears that others have. I walk in power. I understand authority. I know that a lot of people are afraid of power. They're afraid of authority. I'm not afraid of power nor authority because, again, I'm not afraid to solve a problem. I'm not afraid to address a problem. Many of us are afraid to solve problems or address problems. And I would just say many of us are just afraid to be responsible. It takes a responsible person to get on social media and be wide open and be transparent. Because I've lived a long time on this earth. There's a lot of folks that know me, and they could pop up on these screens any day and try to question my integrity, my character, who I am, or who they believe me to be. Okay? And maybe that's just it. Maybe one of the reasons why, let me go here. Maybe one of the reasons why many people walk in fear, they're afraid that their past will come back and bite them on the ass. Maybe that's it right there. Maybe they're concerned about what they did or what they've done or what they've seen or what they saw or who they know, and they can't make a decision. But family, again, if God is on your side, you are in the majority. And I got that from Adam Clayton Powell. With God on your side, you are in the majority. So you don't have no reason to fear. I believe with everything in me that whatever you're going through right now, you're just going through. It's not permanent. Every situation, every trial has an expiration date. I repeat, everything has an expiration date. Okay? Your bread, it expires. Your fruit, they expires. Your vegetables, they expire. Your meat has an expiration date. Okay? We're all walking on a time clock. Okay? We're all going to expire one day. So my challenge to you is I need you to stop walking in fear. I need you to stop acting in fear. I need you to stop functioning in fear. But God gave you a spirit of power. What is power? Let's deal with the word power. Power. The capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. she had me under her power, or he had me under her power. I've seen great orators speak, and they were able to persuade millions of people with their oratory skills, able to influence people, direct them. Watch this, as a police officer. And again, there's always going to be more citizens than law enforcement. But because law enforcement has been engrafted or granted power and authority, they can be one person in a 3-block radius. But because that one person, that one man of power, that one woman of power is in that vicinity, that area, they're able to influence, they're able to direct others. And people respond to men of influence or women of influence with the ability to direct. Okay, that's one aspect of power. Okay, we cannot be afraid of power. Again, I think power should be a discussion at our dinner tables, during our breaks for lunch, during our breakfast, because we don't talk about power enough. And I'm not talking about power, the sitcom that 50 Cent has. I'm talking about power to direct, power to influence, power to assume over people. Okay? Another definition of power, the ability to do something or act in a particular way. Okay? Let me tell you something. If you're listening to this broadcast, if you're listening to this feed, if you see this, you're supposed to be hearing this. You have been given power from the day you was born. You were supposed to link up with people who can harness, who can teach, who can mold you into being the powerful person that you were born to be. Everybody, I believe, was born powerful. Some people found out how to tap into it, and others just haven't. But there's some things that you can do that I can't do. That's your superpower. And there's some things that I can do that you can't do. That's my superpower. But we all have power. We all know something about something. We all, if we tap into that God within us, it will show us and direct us in the way that we should go. Okay? So again, I need you to summon the strength, to summon the power, to do that thing that you was afraid to do, that you were unsure about doing. And again, I'm not about a person being a goody two-shoe. Again, I've said this on one of my previous broadcasts, that some people's purpose in the earth is not to bring things together. Some people's purpose in the earth is to be a destroyer. Then you got people in the earth who's called to be righteous. There's people in the earth who's called to be healers. There's people in the earth that's called to be translators, interpreters. Okay? Whatever you're called to do, summons the energy, summons the strength, walk in it, make up your mind. Again, make up your mind. The power of a made up mind. Let me deal with that real quick. Made up mind. Make a decision. Decide. He made up his mind to attend the meeting. Decide to be decisive. Come to a decision. Make a decision. Make a decision. Make a decision. One of the worst things you can do is be torn between two decisions, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, not knowing what to eat, not knowing when to sleep. I am a recipient, and I'm a firm believer that when you make up your mind, the universe will begin to put things in place. People will come that needs to assist you will come. The resources will come. Okay. Doors will open up. But you have to make up your mind. And you making up your mind is not based on nobody else, how they feel, what they think, whether they're going to like it. It's based on you being at peace with yourself. Again, I tell people all the time, if I don't have peace in a situation, I don't make a decision, no matter how good it sounds, no matter how profitable it is. I don't make a decision unless I have peace. For the scripture says, let the peace of God rule you. Peace to me is an umpire in a baseball game, and it's a referee in a football game. Peace normally it dictates the game. Referees, umpires, they dictate the flow of the game. Referees, they call the touchdowns. They call the penalties. Okay. Umpires, they call the strikes. They call the balls. Okay. And peace within you, the peace within you should be your umpire, and it should be a referee. It should be your governor. Okay. No peace, no decision. Okay. It should your peace should help you to make a decision. It should help you in making up or in having a made up mind. Okay. So again, made up mind, make a decision. Make a decision today. If you're on the fence about that situation, about that doctor's appointment, about that job, about that travel, about that trip, about that food, if you're on the fence right now, I challenge you to make a decision today. Make a decision and watch things begin to fall in place with you because you made up your mind. And I need you to avoid this. The double-minded means you're uncertain. It also means you're divided in your interests. You're wavering. You're divided between two interests. Okay. Go out your way or make a vow to yourself that I will not have a double mind, that I will not be indecisive. Sometimes you got to make a vow to yourself that you will not be indecisive, that you will make a decision and you will see it through. Make a decision and see it through. Say this again. Make up your mind, make a decision, and see it through. Whether it's 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Because I don't know how important the decision is, but I know this. You need to make up your mind, because once you make up your mind, the resources will come. Clarity of thought and vision will come. The people needed to assist you will come. But nothing's going to come if you do not make up your mind. Make up your mind today. Okay? Make up your mind. Make a decision. Make up your mind. Make a decision. Again, there's power of a made up mind. We don't think about power and make up your mind in the same context. But when you learn that a made up mind make things happen, you will not be indecisive no more. Okay. So again, I'm gonna leave it right there. I came on late. I'm not gonna hold you. Again, I'm just not going to go beyond. I think 35 minutes is enough. 38. I need you to go to lwftraining.com. I need you to go to lwftraining.com and sign up for your HQLs, which is a handgun qualification license, which allows you to buy the gun. I need you to sign up for your wear and carry, your concealed carry, which is a 16-hour course, 16-hour class, which allows you to carry the gun. Family, we are approaching October the 3rd. Okay. If you are living in the state of Maryland, come October the 3rd, I believe, Maryland has put on the books about to pass a law that will increase the prices. It will increase the prices for your wear and carry and for your HQL and for the renewals of your HQL and for your wear and carry. Right now, the current price for a wear and carry application, I'm not talking about your own personal instructor and their prices. I'm saying the application process that you use to apply for a wear and carry, right now, they're going for $75 application fee. Come October 2023, those prices will go to $125 for an application to be able to carry a wear and carry. The fee for the HQL is now at $50. I believe those are going up to $75 just to be able to buy a gun. If you apply for it, or when you apply for it online through the state police, okay, it's going to go from $50 now. In October, it's going to be $75. It's right now, it's $75 now. In October, it's going to $125. You need to be about the business of becoming responsible gun owners, gun users, and avoid those high prices, because that does not include what you're going to pay an instructor or your fingerprints for your privilege to carry the gun or to be able to buy a gun. So I need you to get it in right now. I need you to be fast. I need you to be decisive. I need you to make up your mind to become responsible gun owners, gun users, period. Okay? Or just get to an intro to basic firearms class and learn the basic fundamentals of the firearm. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to leave it right here. I see Wayne Green is in the house. That's all I see. But for those who are going to see this broadcast later, again, I want you to make up your mind. There's power in a made-up mind. You don't know what's bad or good until you make up your mind, but you're not going to know until you make up your mind. And so when you make up your mind, just see it through to the end. Okay? But do not no longer be indecisive. Okay? With that said, thank you for tuning in. Always remember, it's not how much you know, it's how much you care. And remember this also, that there is a certified lone wolf in you. We're going to bring him out. We're going to bring him out. With that said, have a great day, a great evening. I'll see you again. Talk to you soon.